Have you ever felt like things are not what they seem? Does it seem like the prime executive of Absalom Station is acting stranger and stranger each day? Have you ever connected a few dots and come to the realization that some of the large corporations are acting very cold, very reptilian, very alien? Not like in a cool best way though, where at least they have the common fucking decency to show you the knife instead of plunging into your back like a little bitch? However, I digress. Today, we're talking about the Reptoids. As we all know, Reptoids are very secretive, very covert, and are very uncomfortably influential.
It seems like anything the Anunnaki has done is turned it into trash. It's like a downgrade of everything.
The most common example that so-called conspiracy theorists will point to show how much of a threat that the Reptoids actually are is when Lord Counselor Shabras Klus of Flaxen, who was in charge of the mineral vaults of Versi's Twilight Mountains, randomly without any reason opened the vaults and gave free rein to a group of Shadari pirates. When word of this got out, a group of goodly, civic-minded, and heavily armed murder hobos punched a fist-sized hole through his chest. Afterwards, the former Lord Counselor promptly reverted back to his reptilian form. Instead of this being looked into by local authorities or reported by the local media outlets, they, mysteriously, buried the story and labeled these fine upstanding men and women as xenophobes. However, beyond this, incidences of reptoid activity have less concrete evidence and are based more on wild rumors. However, oddly enough, whenever someone of significant influence mysteriously disappears or dies in such a way where the body is almost impossible to identify, many intelligence agencies and crackpots do consider the fact that this might have been an instance of a reptoid getting rid of that particular identity.
Because any imperfections in the forgery will appear to be a result of the explosion.
As you can imagine, with a race that is so secretive that most of the galaxy considers them to be nothing more than a paranoid urban legend, almost nothing is known of their culture, their structure, their goals, or why they're so secretive in the first place. In the few instances where they are able to be tracked down or exposed, they will often either self-delete or go down swinging. All we really know about their culture is that the common Reptoid takes their orders from a group called the Reptoid Masters. Whether this is something akin to the head of a clan of Reptoids that looks out for the interests of their own small group, or something like a double super secret shadow cabal that rules over all other Reptoids, is anyone's guess. Besides fragmented accounts, the only other source of information we have on the Reptoids is through their technology. Now, don't ask me how stealth technology from this secretive race became commonplace enough that it made it into the Armory Book or the Starship Operations Manual, but I imagine that it happened because an adventurer took one down and did the Murder Hobo Special, and later got it reverse engineered. However it happened, here are some examples of Reptoid technology that have come into wider galactic use. This is a type of light armor that is not only designed to look like regular clothing, but can also change size to conform with any of the user's shape-shifting shenanigans. Besides Reptoid players, this could be useful for any Xenodruids who don't want to have to strip down before transforming.
Don't say you weren't warned.
These rifles shoot slow-moving darts capable of not only being able to be fired without being noticed, but oftentimes can inject a target with whatever insidious compound that was loaded into the dart without the target noticing that they were hit until it's too late. While it's debatable if the Reptoids invented these rifles, the fact that they are owned by so many Reptoids does raise some alarm bells. Also, it's a little funny that Paizo decided to add this to the weapons description, especially since it's widely known that the CIA also uses these kinds of weapons. This starship system allows you to alter your starship to not only change its shape and layout to match another kind of starship, but also allows you to change its size in a short amount of time, whether this is accompanied by a or a is left up to the imagination. Moving on to their abilities, even they are shrouded in mystery and ambiguity. The rules for the creature ability Change Shape can be found on page 152 of the Alien Archive 1. To summarize the ability, it allows the user to look like what they want to and be able to breathe and see as whatever race they are changing into. And, unless otherwise stated, it can remain in an alternate form indefinitely. However, a time limit in the Reptoid creature entry is conveniently missing. For those wanting to play a Reptoid, they are limited to shifting for a maximum time of 10 minutes per level, are limited to only having one alternate form, are limited to only shifting into that form once per day, and if they want or need to take a different form, they must take a week off to prepare for their new form. Now, one has to ask the question, is this further proof of how their shadowy cabal even reaches from the very lore of the game into the meta? Or is it simply Paizo balancing out the game to prevent players from causing untold chaos, while allowing the DM to make a powerful and vexing big bad evil guy? Probably the second thing, but for the sake of this video's tone, I'm going to insist on the former. The last thing that I want to go over is how you could use Reptoids in your game. As a DM, you could use them as your typical shadowy bad guy that is pulling the strings of lesser bad guys. Maybe at first it could start out as a simple,
And I hope you don't mind, but I've got another favor to ask. I've had word from a settlement asking for help.
quest, and then once they take down the raider boss, they find a note on them that basically says that they're taking orders from some outside group. And when your players dig into that, they find that they are being given orders from someone else. And every so often the person who was giving these orders ends up dead or commits self-deletion. And maybe there are some strange skin or scales found next to the body, until eventually they unmask the villain as a Reptoid. And maybe not even a Reptoid master, but a regular low-level one whose power comes through master manipulation. As a player, you could play as a sci-fi scaly Drizdo Erden, who is basically railing against Reptoid society by not wanting to do evil shadow government nonsense, because they don't want to take over the family business of pretending to be various influential figures.
But Father, I don't want to be part of the shadowy cabal. I just want to dance.
Or, if you want to go the evil route, like you just want to be a real low-down, no-good, nefarious son of a bitch and... Wait, who are you?
Oh, it's tougher than he looks. Man, I hate this mammalian form. Fucking mammalian bullshit. Hello? Hey. No, it's going okay. Took care of that Evan guy. Not too much left. Just have to read the rest of the WAF approved script and then I should be good to go. Yeah. No, it sounds great. Yeah, I'm about 20 minutes out of Agarthus, so yeah, no, I'm totally free. Yeah, let's do it. All right, looking forward to it. All right, bye-bye. Well, as I was saying,
As a DM, you could have a Reptoid as an ally who just wants to help you help the wider galaxy. Oh, maybe your party starts off misguided and tries to untangle a web of conspiracy, but eventually learns the error of their ways and decides to do better, and that working for the Reptoids is a good thing. Well, everyone, that's gonna wrap up this fun little video. I would like to remind you that if you liked this video or found it informative, to please leave a like. If you want to share how much the Reptoids have been just a positive influence on your game, or you want to share the personal information of any Debbie Downers, please leave a comment. And subscribe so we know who to spare. Hey, you rascal, thank you for watching till the end. If you haven't already, click here to subscribe, click here to watch one of our newer videos, and click here to see something random.